The camera bag you use for landscape photography is extremely important. It makes it so that when you're hiking for 10, 20 miles at a time, the camera on your back is not going to be really stressful and is going to be very comfortable. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Peak Design Everyday 20-liter version 2 backpack for landscape photography specifically. What's up guys, Project Photography back with another video, and today we're gonna be looking at the Peak Design Everyday 20-liter backpack. And I've had a 20-liter Everyday Peak Design backpack since 2018 around fall. So I've had one for quite a while, and as you guys know, I'm a landscape photographer, so I'm going over this backpack and what I think about this camera bag for landscape photography specifically. So on every landscape photography trip that I go on, every time I go out to shoot landscape photography, I'm always bringing this backpack because, well, this is probably the only camera bag I have that is suitable for hiking and all those kind of good things. This is not a dedicated hiking backpack, as you guys can tell. It's supposed to be an everyday camera bag. But I think a lot of people ask, can I use this for landscape photography? And in a short answer, yes, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. But first off, let's go into the different features, just a rundown of this bag, because I think a lot of people might not know about this bag at first. So the main part about this camera bag is that it has side access. So when I'm zipping it open on the side, you can see that there's a bunch of dividers inside, and this is where the magic happens. These dividers are extremely important because you can remove them, you can put in different types of configurations, and you can make it so that it's easier to access your gear when you're out and about on the field. So the side access is actually really important because it allows you to swing your bag over, allows you to access your stuff really quickly on the fly, and that's really important, especially for landscape photography or just any photography. I think landscape photography is less important. But in a traditional landscape photography backpack, you have to put the camera bag on the floor, open it up from the back, and then access your stuff. And I don't really like that because if I'm in a situation where it's really snowy or dusty, or let's say there's a lot of water, then I might not want to be putting my camera bag down and rather have the side access configuration. It's easier to access. And place these removable dividers, make it so that you configure the bag however you want. They're also foldable, so you fold them down and have different sections of the bag itself so that you can put different things in different areas and just organize it the way that you want it to. So let's talk about the pockets, because in each different side, there are some pockets here. We have a zipper here, and there's some little like parts and compartments in here that I put batteries in most of the time. And I have pens in this one. And if you go on to the other side, it's the same sort of configuration. And it makes it so that you can organize the little things as well. I think that's also very important. You can organize the small stuff and make sure that the bag is very organized when you're taking stuff out. Another big part about this bag is that it has top compartment as well. So this part right here has kind of like a latch. So you lift it up and then you pull it out. And there's different, you can see that there's different kind of attachment points so that when you're actually using the bag, you can expand it up to I think 28 liters is the max it can go to. So if I have 28 liters worth of stuff, I can just, attach it like that and it'll fill up to the brim. But inside is where you'll find kind of the top compartment. You can put all sorts of stuff here. I usually put my sweater in there and whatnot. So that's cool. I mean, it's very intuitive how this whole bag works. It's essentially one big compartment, and there's 3 access points, 2 from the sides and 1 from the top. And it makes it very easy to configure, very easy to access stuff, and you don't feel like things are not available to you at any given time, which I really love. The other part is that there's a latch for a key. So I have it on my left side here. So there's just kind of like little latch and you attach your key to it. That's another cool thing to point out. So these side pockets here can either hold water or tripod. I usually have my tripod in here and I attach it with this latch. And you can see I attach it here. I put the feet through there. So that's really good. So you can hold like water bottles and tripods and whatnot. It's also the same thing on the other side. But in here, on this side, I keep my keys and then another strap, which I will show you later what that strap is for. So there's also external carry on the bottom here. There's like little magnets and stuff, so you can pull these out and then you would attach things on the top of the bag or like on the back of the bag, essentially. And you can carry things externally. Never really use the feature, but there's rare times that I do, and it's very useful just having a pinch. Especially if you need it, but I personally never use it. So, and the great thing is it closes with magnetics, so it's not not going all over the place when you're not using it. So another cool thing about this top axis part is that there's this little like pocket. I can't tell if you guys can see that, but there's a little pocket here. I just carry business cards in here just in case, I don't know. You can carry whatever you want in there, but I just put business cards. So the one thing that Peak Design did very well on this bag that I think they should have done on the first one is that they include a paid attachment. Like you can pay for these hip belts. And if you're a landscape photographer, you need to buy these because what it does essentially is it takes the load of the weight off your shoulders and onto your hips, where your hips can carry more weight for a longer period of time, and it's just way better. It's detachable, so I can remove it whenever I want, and it just kind of like folds in very nicely, and you just attach this, push a strap in, and it's very comfortable. You don't even notice it when you're wearing it while it's in this position, and you get, you know, both sides, and you can put the load on your hips, and that's really important, especially for landscape photography, if that's what you're worried with. Another part I want to mention is also that above this kind of top compartment here, you can also carry like a laptop in here or a small like tablet or something at the top, but I carry my external battery, like a portable charger, as well as my head torch is also very important. So I just carry those two things in there. That's essentially most of the bag. That's just kind of like a quick overview of how this bag operates. So let's get into the actual review part of this bag, because I want to talk about this thing specifically for landscape photography. But first, let's talk about it for everyday photography. And in an everyday photography sense, this camera bag is awesome. Like I have no complaints about it when it comes to if I'm going out shooting street, going out on vacation, or just going out and about and I need a backpack for my everyday use. This bag is it. And I even use this for my school stuff as well. Like I'll remove the dividers inside and I'll just put like books and things like that in there. So it's great for honestly everything. So on an everyday bag sense, what makes this bag so unique is that, first of all, this side axis makes this bag super intuitive, super fast to use, because when I'm out and about and I want to access something quick, I can just unzip this top part, grab my camera bag or my camera, or switch out the lenses or whatever I need, and it's going to be very fast, very efficient. I don't have to take out or take off my bag, put it on the floor, all that kind of stuff. You just swing it around and use it. That's what makes this bag so incredible. And plus you have the intuitive design of the dividers, so you're able to compartmentalize things and make sure that things are organized the way you want them to. That's the main selling point of this bag, and I think that's why it makes it so intuitive. Easy access is probably the most important thing in landscape photography, and just photography in general, because if you're able to access stuff really fast, it makes it very easy to shoot photography and not have to worry about, you know, every time I change the lenses, I have to take off my bag and all this whole process. But if you just flip it around and kind of access things, it's very easy, very great to use. On top of it, it's very comfortable to actually wear. The shoulder straps actually adjust to your shoulders and the different kinds of like structures that people have. So it just depends like who you are. You know, the shoulders have these kind of like hinges here that will allow you to be very comfortable when wearing it. So that's also a big part as well, is that it's very comfortable for when I'm actually going out and shooting stuff. So that's also a very important thing. On top of it, it can carry a lot of stuff. Again, these dividers inside the actual bag make it very easy to organize things. And plus, you get the extra 8 liters of storage if you really, really need it. I don't use it all the time, but when I do, it's really nice to have. It's a great part of this bag. It's very easy to access stuff. It's very comfortable to wear. And the compartments and all that are simple yet efficient, and they do the job really well. This bag for everyday photographers is amazing, but this is a landscape photography video, and I want to talk about specifically its uses for landscape photography. So for landscape photography specifically, this camera bag is great for all the reasons I just listed. It's intuitive design, but here is the biggest gripe that I have. This camera bag has hip straps, which takes off the load from your bag. But here's a problem. When I'm wearing it, and I don't have anything else on, I just have the hip strap on, and I loosen the bag separates from my back, pulling my shoulders and stuff back. It puts a lot of pressure on the front of my body, and it's not comfortable to wear in the long term, especially when you're hiking for 10-20 miles and things like that. And if you look at traditional hiking bags, they all have load lifters. So what it does is, like the problem I said before, when you loosen up the straps and the camera bag kind of pulls back on you, puts some pressure on your front, those load lifters essentially stick the camera bag to your back. It makes it so that the load is taken off your shoulders so that the camera bag is right on your back. Whereas if I use it on this, the camera is here and then my back is here. Load lifters would bring the camera bag to my back. And that's a big problem. Load lifters are extremely important. And I promise you, if they just included load lifters in the everyday backpack, I would buy a 30 liter because then I could hold more stuff, I can do more with it, and it would just be an incredible hiking bag overall. So load lifters would really mitigate that problem of having the camera bag away from your back when you're using the hip strap and taking the load off of your shoulders. But I have a workaround for that, and it is this. It is, I don't know where exactly you would find these straps, but these are kind of straps that people would use on duffel bags and things like that. And this is extremely important because this essentially takes the role of load lifter. So when you're putting on the backpack and you're putting the weight on your hips, the camera bag would separate from your back, right? So what I would do is I would lace this strap through the top part of my camera bag, pull it through here, and essentially what I would do is also lace it through the sides of the bag. And this would allow me to essentially do what load lifter does and get the camera bag onto my back without having to worry about my shoulders and stuff being pulled forward or pulled back and having that pressure on the front of my shoulders. So this is really important, guys. And I mean, if you're really considering this bag for landscape photography, you need to get one of these straps. I don't know where you find them, but I mean, they're just like normal like clip straps, and it's really important because this mitigates the problem of having that pressure on your front. And this is the only scenario where I actually use it. So I only use it for when I'm going out and shooting landscape photography. So this method makes the bag extremely comfortable when you're using it, when you're out and about and doing stuff. And like I said, the two most important things for a camera bag for hiking specifically is comfortability, because if you have a camera bag and it's just uncomfortable, you're gonna hate going out and hiking. And also the ability to access stuff really quickly, which this bag does. It's just the first part, it has it like 2/3 of the way down. If it just had the low lifters, I would have no need for this strap. So this method, it makes the camera bag extremely comfortable, but it's not a permanent solution. It's only temporary. This is only when you need to use this camera bag for landscape photography in a pinch is when I would use these straps and make sure that it's really comfortable. Because look, I've hiked with this system like 10 miles at a time, and my shoulders feel great after. I feel no sense of pressure from them. They don't hurt. Like, it makes the problem really go away. And if Peak Design just created the everyday backpack, 30 liter with load lifters, I would buy it like that. And they just don't, and that's a problem that I have with this bag. That's the only problem, the only gripe out of everything about this backpack is that that it doesn't have load lifters. And when you're using the hip straps, you have to, like, it doesn't attach to your back the way that you want it to. And that's a big problem, especially for hikers, especially if you're a landscape photography shooter. This bag is amazing in every other facet. It's just that one thing. You know, the accessibility is really great. The fact that the compartment is super organizable the way you want them to, it's just that one thing. And the thing is, when you're using this strap, I feel like it kind of messes with the material. It kind of has like, it pulls the camera back in like this, so that it makes the top compartment not as usable. And it just, I don't feel like this is a good long-term solution, because I feel like it's gonna have some sort of negative impact on the bag, especially if you use it for a long time. My verdict for this backpack is that it's a great overall camera bag. Like, if you're using it for everyday travel, if you're going out and shooting, if you're using it for everyday carry, for school, for business work, or whatever you're doing, this bag is great. But if you primarily shoot landscape photography, this camera bag is not it. I don't think this solution, although it is a good solution, is not a permanent solution. And load lifters would be a permanent solution. But for those photographers that shoot photography and just need a great backpack overall and want to shoot landscape photography in a pinch, this camera bag is actually great for that. Like, in a pinch, this would make a great landscape photography backpack. You just need to be wary that you need this strap in order to make it really comfortable. So overall, it's great for everyday photographers, great for everyday users. And if you do landscape photography in a pinch, this camera bag will do the job just fine. You just need this strap. But for photographers that strictly do landscape photography, I would not recommend this bag, because the load lifters is a big problem, is a big factor when considering for a good hiking bag. That is my review on this bag. It's a great overall bag. I love the handling. I love how it feels. I love the ergonomics. I love how it has a side axis. That's a big part. I love how it's greatly organized. It's just the load lifters that make it a problem when shooting landscape photography. If they just had that, then this would be a great camera bag. So let me know what you guys think about the Peak Design Everyday 20 liter backpack version 2. because I really do like this backpack. I really do like it a lot. It's just that one thing. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.